Charlotte Motor Speedway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars. A new year is just around the corner, which means a new season of Coast to Coast action is finally underway. We welcome you to round 1 of the 2025 Season 1 Coast to Coast Racing League season, and it's another edition of Monday Night Madness. Tonight we come to you from Sarver, Pennsylvania, just near the Steel City of Pittsburgh, Lernerville Speedway. High banks, fast speeds, and a lot of good old-fashioned action. We're so glad you could join us here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala with you, alongside Brandon Detmer. Bear with me on the camera angle as I'm working on some stuff with my PC. But Brandon, a new year. It is so good to be back once again on an ice car count to get the season started.
Yeah, absolutely ready to kick it off, and we are starting off with 29 cars to kick it off here at Lernerville, which is absolutely phenomenal. Gonna have ourselves a nice little B main action, and hopefully somebody gets the fallout count right.
Yes, absolutely. We'll talk about that in just a moment. A couple of things I want to talk about. There are some things when it comes to dirt that is new in iRacing. Of course, the first thing that everyone is talking about is, of course, the addition of Houston's on the schedule, as well as a new, I don't want to say new damage model, but new physics up front for the late models. But one thing that's not being talked about are the graphics changes when it comes to dirt racing. We were trying it out during week 13 or 14, however you want to say it, and during it, we learned that there was a lot of dust, just like you see in real life at some of the racetracks. It's going to be really dusty out there during feature time, which will make some drivers hang on. I know I was doing that a couple days ago at Houston for the Modified.
Yeah, that dust model caught a lot of us by surprise. I joined in another league and we raced Volusia, and it was absolutely terrible. And I was in the B main, and it was absolutely terrible. And especially here, we're already hanging on to the top as it is. To throw a cloud of dust in your face, it's going to be even worse. So we're going to see what happens here. Dean said it was pretty bad during the matinee for fall-offs.
Let's ride on board with Randall Dixon. He'll give a great idea as the track is starting to slick up here. Look in the corners. Look how tough the high side is, how dusty it is. That is what the drivers are going to see. Now put 23 drivers on the racetrack. That is going to be a heck of a cloud, that's for sure. Qualifying, meanwhile, is just about set to go. If you're new to the Coast to Coast Racing League, here is how a regular night works. 2 minutes of qualifying for the drivers here to put up 2 laps. Before we go into the heat races, the top 4 in the starting lineup will be inverted. So in this case, we have 4 heats this evening. And so you want to be in 13th through 16th position, and you'll be in the invert. In the heat races, there are 8 laps. Top 4 drivers transfer in. The rest go to a 10-lap B main. Normally it's top 8. We'll see what it is tonight. And then that's our features. 30 laps tonight for Open 358s and Rebels, and 35 for the Renegades. There's Brandon on the racetrack giving you an idea of what the track will be like in not just qualifying, but heat action. Isaac Salas in the purple here in qualifying. Does Salas go to the top? Not yet. He's working on lap number 1. Joseph Grandy the quickest, 15.639. Kurt Schatzer quickest, the 15.679. Here comes Salas off for turn number 4. His first lap time, quick time, at a 15.598. Kurt Schatzer off on lap number 2. He's third quickest, 15.68. Here's Dan McLaren in car number 88. Sam Bachman goes to the top of the charts. Bachman goes with a 15.56. He is 400ths better exactly compared to Isaac Salas off of turn number 4. Doesn't need to worry about a second lap. Checking to see if anyone else is working on a lap time. Mason Hine in the number 89. 16.28 on lap number 1. His second lap, though, just off the mark, so we'll stay in 25th. Here comes Kelly Wheeler off of turn 4, working lap 2. A much better lap was 27, 16.38. And this lap, 15.77 to 7th quick. Jason Butterfield, Harold Klump, Greg Parmalee, and Logan Wentz will be the drivers that start on pole position this evening. Before we get to the starting lineup here for heat race number 1, we need to talk about the fall-off count, the bottom left corner of your screen. If you're new to Coast Racing League action, we do something on the Slide Job Racing Network whenever we go to Lernerville. We call it the fall-off count. We always like to guess what the fall-off count is going to be. The closest without going over wins bragging rights. Last season, which was just about a month ago, it was an insane night. A lot of cars, altogether 46 made up the count. Brandon, I am going to go with 55 this evening. What are you thinking, my friend?
That's a really good guess, especially with everything that's changed. But I'm going to give everybody here a little more credit. I'm going to go with 38.
Alrighty, BD going 38. Let us know in the chat what you believe the fall-off count will be tonight. Again, closest without going over. We go by Price is Right rules. Drivers are rolling off for heat race number 1. This heat brought to you by Gambler Motorsports, official team of the Coast to Coast Racing League. The Spider Monkey on the pole, Brandon Dittmer in car 83. Next to him, it's Kelly Wheeler in the 110. Row number 2, Sam Bachman in the 007. To his inside, Brian Dickens in the 122. Row 3, it's Butters, Jason Butterfield in the 93, and Logan Wentz in the 118. Row number 4, Devo, Donovan Ross in the 5, and Armando Melgoza in the 531. Final row in this qualifying session, Joe Musso in the 00, and Jake the Snake Henry in the 171. Top 4 drivers transfer everyone else down to the B main. This may actually be a 3-heat race tonight. We'll have to see where it goes there.
Yeah, it's a 3-heat race. I think they change it up. They have up to 10 drivers in a heat race.
All right, so it seems like it'll be a 10-9-9 type night. So, but anyway, Brandon, best of luck in Heat 1.
Thank you.
Steve King Foundation Pace Truck makes the right-hand turn onto pit road. Winner starts on the pole for tonight's feature. Top 4 drivers transfer into the main event. Here we go, open 358 to green. Good start for Dittmer as he's cleared Wheeler and Dickens off the corner. Sam Bachman holding on to that final spot in 4th. Wentz sends her deep into turn number 3. Nearly 3 wide off the corner. Lap number 1 is led by Dittmer. Kelly Wheeler trying to round the outside. The field 2x2 in open setups. Wheeler, does he peek downstairs for the race lead? Yes, he does. Dittmer, high, wide, and handsome, nearly goes over the berm. Gave Wheeler an opportunity. They're still door-to-door into the corner. Look at Logan Wentz, 3 wide for 3rd. One driver out of this may not make it into the show. This could be 4 wide possibly, which is the case in the center of the corner. Dittmer hanging on the lead. 5 wide already. Good gosh almighty. It is only Heat 1, boys. Take her easy. Kelly Wheeler to the race lead as we're halfway home in Heat 1. But look at Dittmer trying to get the momentum off the corner, trying to use it to his advantage. Wentz very good downstairs. Kelly Wheeler rocking around. Now look at Bachman hanging out down in Mama's basement. Now there's no cookies down there, but there's a lot of antiques, that's for sure. They're still 4 wide going to turn number 3. Oh, baby, there is not a lot of room for error with 2 laps to go in Heat 1. Remember, it's the top 4 trying to make it into the show. They're 3 wide for 3rd. Wheeler's still going for the lead, but it could get aggressive into turn number 3 next time by. 2 wide, 3 wide, there's contact. Wentz and Dickens, bang! In turn number 4, final lap is underway. Oh, no yaw for Wentz, off for 2. He's trying to hang on to it. Oh, there goes Butterfield off the racetrack. And that was for the final spot in. Coming to the checkered flag, Dittmer takes the win over Wheeler. Bachman 3rd, Wentz in 4th. Jason Butterfield goes off the track and finishes last. Let's check on Armando Melgoza. Make sure we don't have 2 on the fall-off count. Nope, it was just 1. So, holy smokes, what a wild start to this one, Brandon.
Yeah, that was absolutely fun. That top is extremely treacherous, but boy, oh boy, is it fun! Is it wild if you can stick it? I just realized something. Is this bus down here new? The Lightning McQueen bus?
Where is that?
Down at the bottom of 3. Go back and look at me.
Okay.
And go to Chase. I don't know if that's new or not.
We'll look in just a moment. Heat 2, meanwhile, brought to you by Regency Home Inspection. Proud partner of Brian Lawson, the Venom Racing team. For a quote, check them out on social media. The Bandit, Randall Dixon on the pole in the 011. Next to him, the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano in the 32. Row number 2, Superman, Kurt Schatzer in the 218. And Sly Job, Isaac Salas in the 5. Row number 3, Bud Molyneux in the 883. And next to him, it is Harold Klump in the 2. Row number 4, Jason Coffey, correction, in the 146. And Ronald Lyons the 4th in the 86. Final row tonight, you've got Mason Hine in the 89. And the low-line master, Brennan Lacey, in the 114. You said it was in the bottom of turn 3, Brandon? I did not see anything.
Yeah, where they normally go down, where they fall off and go to the boat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're referring to now. I'll have to look. I know there was no, art modeling. We'll check next heat. We got the winner starting on the outside of the front row. As we're set to go green, here we go, Heat 2 underway. Three wide, Isaac Salas trying to go 2 for 1. There goes Ronald Lyons the 4th off the racetrack. So add 1 to the fall-off count there for that. as they're still all 2x2 regardless. Lap 1, way too close to call with the line, Brandon.
Yeah, Isaac pushing it on the outside towards Anthony Morano. But here back for the 4th spot, we got Harold Klump going really hard out at Kurt Schatzer. Oh, you racing.
Side by side for second. Morano's been able to clear both Salas and
Contact for
Dixon.
4th.
And yes, you just mentioned it there. Schatzer and Klump did bang wheels for that final transfer spot into the show. Salas, meanwhile, catching the Magic Ant-Man. These were the 2 drivers that battled out for the championship this year. No love lost. Slide job attempt from Salas. Did not work. He'll try to turn number 3 this time. Does he have it off the corner? Yes, he does. Morano tries to counter it back. Woo, that is good. These 2 respect each other. They put on a damn good battle to the end of the season last year.
Big slider.
The transition working really well. 1 driver off the track. I believe that's Brendan Lacey. As the leaders are Klump. Should be good now. We apologize. Had the technical difficulties. Lap number 1, led by Dean Reynolds. Scott Rayome in second.
There's a Granny going hard at Dan McLaren for that 3rd spot. Well, Greg Parmalee just waiting in the wings for a mistake.
Here comes Dan McLaren, still trying to grab that 2nd position away. Joseph Grandy with that final transfer spot at the moment. First driver out, Greg Parmalee currently in the 5th position. But still right now, Dino out in front. Michael Vecchio's crash. He's upside down. He must have caught the wall and got on 2 wheels. Let's go to the Malcolm's replay. Taking it onto it. Yeah, contact with Sigelkow and on his noggin. Went to 247, but Dino's still out in front in the Santa Claus number 79. Christmas is around the corner. Dino's in the holiday spirit. Battle for 3rd here. Grandy underneath on Rayome. Who's got the better exit? It was the 4, but they stay wheel to wheel in the corner, BD.
Yes, Guy Rayome went for a big slider on Dean Reynolds, but Dean slammed the door on him, which forced him to lock it up and get really slow, throw him back to 3rd place where Grandy's trying to go after him.
Ladia on the center of 1 and 2 for Rayome, up on Grandy. Oh, there goes Scott. Oh, that's going to be a big accident. Big impact for Scotty. And the bad luck from last season has transitioned on to this season. Final lap is underway. McLaren trying for 1 last shot, but it's Dean Reynolds in the Super Dirt Car Series number 79 of the checkered flag. Dino wins Heat 3. McLaren 2nd, Grandy 3rd. Parmalee gets a gift in 4th. Brian Moore Sr. 5th. Wida 6th. Sigelkow 7th. Rayome 8th. Vecchio 9th. So fall off count now, ladies and gentlemen, is at 4. But it's now B-main time here at Lernerville Speedway. Meet the field and give you the starting lineup as Brian Dickens is on the pole, the number 122. Next to him, Harold Klump of the 2. Row 2, Brian Moore Sr. in the 558 and Jake the Snake Henry in the 171. Row 3, Bud Molyneux in the 83 and Max Wida in the 81. Row number 4, the 00, Joe Coffey in the 146 of Joe Musso and Jason Coffey. Round out the top 10, Gary Sigelkow next to Scott Rayome. That is row number 6. Row 7, Armando Malgosa in the 531 and Brendan Lacey in the 114. Row 8, Michael Vecchio in the 247 and Butters, Jason Butterfield in the 93. Final car on the grid is Ronald Lyons the 4th in the 86. 17 drivers with us. We took 12, so we're taking 12 for this, which means the bottom 5 will go home. Normally it's the top 8, but a lot of chances in this B-main with a lot of cars in this.
This is going to be absolutely wild 10 laps here.
Absolutely. After the completion of the first lap, we will focus on the driver that is in 12th. And starting in that position is Slide Job Scotty. Winner to start 13th tonight in the feature.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is out. Last chance showdown underway. Good start for Brian Dickens. Has Harold Klump clear, but Klump loses second to Brian Moore Sr. Battle for fourth, Bud Molyneux and Jake Henry. Dickens leads lap number 1, who is 12th here off of turn number 4. Very close quarters action. It's Scott Rayon. Donovan Ross around the outside making some moves. Gives the bumper to Gary Sigelcal for just a little bit. There goes Devo off the racetrack. Now, did he have 2 wheels? Yeah, that was 2 wheels. That does not count.
We did have one go off in 1 and 2 as we have Beaton Bag and Rick on the front stretch.
Yep, Armando Malgoza was the one I believe that went off. Jason Coffey around to the 146. Brennan Lacey currently hanging on to the final transfer spot at the moment.
Contact in 3 and 4.
Donovan Ross sideways off the bumper of Michael Vecchio. He finds a way to keep her going, but a big gap now between Lacey and Ross. They're going to need somebody to wreck amongst the top 12. A lot of good hard racing, though, amongst the field right now, Brandon. Oh, it could come right here. Gary Sigelcal. Upside down he goes in the 25. Donovan Ross gets through. Sigelcal keeps it going, but is a couple seconds behind. He still could have a chance for 12th. A lot of damage, though, on the 25. I don't know how he's still going. He puts the door at Ronald Lyons the 4th. That car not driving well, though.
Yeah, he's got to have a lot of damage after that flip. There's no way you can do that and have straight wheels.
Donovan Ross now with the final transfer spot. Michael Vecchio, the first one out in 13th. You ride on board with the 247. Look at the dust going into the corners. It's better on the low line. The visibility compared to up top. Sigelcal has crashed here once again around in turn number 2. And that will end his night in the small blocks. Brennan Lacey sideways of the 114. Now he's in an insurance spot right now, Brandon, in 11th.
Yeah, and Jason Coffey gets around Michael Vecchio, and he is going to set his sights on Donovan Ross. He is running him down.
2 laps to go. Final spot on the line. On board with Coffey. You see how the dust is. But wait till we put 24 drivers on instead of 17. Especially at the start of this one. Here comes Coffey looking underneath. Gets the door slammed by Devo. Final lap is underway here. Can Donovan hang on to that spot, or will Jason Coffey steal one? Devo opened up the door for Coffey. They're side by side. Coffey's got a chance. Does he go for the slide job? No. Devo pinches him down, steers off the corner. Donovan Ross makes it in the show. Dickens, your B-main winner. Let's step aside and go to break. When we come back, featured time of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as warm-ups are underway. Got up to the fall-off count. It is currently standing at 5, but I got a good feeling that is going to go way up after this feature here, Brandon.
Yeah, just a small little hunch that just might happen. That top's already treacherous as is, and it's about the only fast way around this place.
Brennan Lacey the quickest, the 15.787. Logan 1 second. Isaac's at a 15.81. Isaac Salas third, 15.84. Anthony Morano fourth, 15.91. Brian Dickens fifth, 15.92. With the holidays coming on up, got a couple of events coming on up. Next week, we've got a 2-day event for the Driller Trophy. We've got the Dagan Corona Chili Bowl Memorial for Braden's Hope for Childhood Cancer. Everyone welcome, donations only. That's on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. And then my New Year's special is coming back for the 3rd time ever. A 200-lap big block feature. Stay tuned for that. That's on New Year's Eve, and then also a Huset's 100 on New Year's Day. Feature time, though, ladies and gentlemen. Let's meet the field and give you the RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Next to him, Slide Job, Isaac Salas in the 5. Row number 2, Dean Reynolds in the 79, and Kelly Wheeler in the 110. Row 3, the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano in the 32, and Dan McLaren in the 88. Row 4, Sam Bachman in the 007, and Randall Dixon in the 011. Rounding out the top 10, Joseph Grandy, 100 grand in the 518, and Logan Wentz in the 118. Row 6, Superman, Kurt Schetzer in the 218, and Greg Parmalee in the 4. Row 7, Brian Dickens in the 122, and Harold Klump in the 2. Row 9, Jake the Snake Henry in the 171, and Brian Moore Sr. in the 558. Rest of the field look like this. Row 9, Bud Molyneux and Joe Musso. Row 10, Mike Weeda and Scott Rayome, Slide Job Scotty. Row 11, Mason Hine in the 89. Lowline Master Brennan Lacey in row 11. Final row, Jason Butterfield, Butters in the 93. And Devo Donovan Ross in the 5. Picks to win, Brandon, who you got?
Oh, God. How do you go against this guy on my outside here?
I'm
Give
gonna
me
go
old Salas.
Give me the guy that won his first Rebels win at this track. Give me Dino in the 79.
That's a good pick.
Alrighty, man. We'll put you on mute here for the feature. Best of luck.
Thank you, Marty.
Here we go for action. First feature of the season. On a Monday night open, 358s, 30 laps around Lernerville. Ready for the Flatline Racing Bodies green flag. First time tonight we get to say that it's time to shake and bake and it's time to get it on at Lernerville. Three wide for the race lead. Brandon Dittmer on pole now and is in a sandwich with Dino downstairs. Isaac Salas to the outside. Lap number 1 led by Salas in the 5. Kelly Wheeler slides up in front of the 88 looking for P2 as they're 2x2 off the corner. Good tight racing. Look at the visibility issues here. All that dust piling up there in 3 and 4. Wait till you see the onboard here with Dan McLaren. How tight it is to see. We should actually show you a better onboard. Go from like 15th with Brian Dickens or something. Luckily, this track is wide and not as tight as it is at Huset's. Just had problems. Kelly Wheeler has gone off track, and the first yellow waves tonight. See what happened here? Just went off the track. Man on 2 wheels. How did he keep it off the wall? I don't know. Wow, his day was nearly ruined. To the point where he had to get a quick repair immediately, but nope. Just take her to the back, save that quick repair. Just got in a little bit too deep. Man, great car control by Kelly. Not to lose it and put that puppy in the wall. That puts the fall off count up to 6. Field resetting, getting our first restart here in just a moment. See who's checking in here into the chat. Trevor Giroux, Philly Flyer watching. Don't know where Trevor is tonight. We're missing you, though, that's for sure. He's picking 49. Scientist rooting for the Samaconda, Sam Bachman. I like that nickname. I may have to use that. Samaconda. That's pretty cool. Roger says that bus, by the way, in turn 3 has always been there. Trevor says of Dino's Santa wrap, it's one of 500 wraps he owns. And Ronald Lyons checking in. He had fun racing. Didn't make it, but did not get last. Fun League. Hey, that's most important, that you had fun. All right, set for the restart. Isaac selects the outside. We're back to green. Waste no time and merely hold serve on Dean Reynolds, who tried to clear up on Dan McLaren, but Soupy was on his quarter panel. In the race for the second spot, no yaw from Dean in turn number 3. 3 wide for the 4th position with Morano stuck in the middle, challenging Dittmer for that spot. Remember, the lower the late in the race, the better the low line for the Magic Ant-Man. They're still 3 wide going into turn number 3. Dittmer in the wall, keeps her straight. Good corrections there, and they're 4 wide. Logan Wentz was showing his nose underneath back in heat race number 1. Let's see if he can get her to work. 7 laps down here in this feature. Morano looking for a run. Dittmer had to left. That can allow Bachman to go for the 2-for-1 discount into the corner. Yes, he can. Left front wheel on the grass. That works out. Bachman down to 5th. On board with him as he's doing the inverted diamond corner. Can he grab 4th here on Dittmer? Dittmer with the advantage on corner exit, obviously. The Spider Monkey hangs on for now. We're working on lap number 10. Gives us a chance to look at the 5-lap average for the first time tonight. Salas just had the quickest lap of this feature at a 15:95. This time by his lap time of 15:90, matching Dan McLaren. Brian Moore Sr. off track, and went to the fall off count. Top 2 drivers, the quickest men on track. Salas definitely kicking butt. Right now, early in this feature, remember, start on the outside of the front row. McLaren another quick lap, 15:84 that last time by. Right on board, you can see the 5-lap average. Not sure if we had it on your screen. Is got another window blocking that. Bachman still trying to get that 4th spot trouble. Scott Rayom and Kelly Wheeler. This is in turn number 1. Yellow flag waves for the 2nd time tonight. A look at the replay, show you what happened with Scotty. Slight contact with Kelly, I believe, as Wheeler goes head on in the wall. Likely we'll have to use a quick repair. Let's go on board with Wheeler. Nose first in the guardrail. You see Rayom just came on to pit road. We'll get her back out on the racetrack. Here we come for the restart. We'll watch it from the Chapman Racing drone.
Green, green, green.
Back to green. Salas able to hold serve. Look at the battle for second. 3 wide. That is tight. Kelly Wheeler had reports that he may be blanking before the race lead. Actually, check that for a second. As Salas is blanking, we were 3 wide for third. McLaren stuck in the middle. He slides up in front of Morano, the Magic Ant-Man, going for P4. Bachman, though, for second. Can the Sam Akonda move up to P2 on his teammate? Not just yet. We're halfway home, 15 up, 15 down. As the FTM teammates do battle. Dino on the preferred high line. Bachman stuck up downstairs. Go back here. Contact between Morano and McLaren. Morano put the bumper to the 88. The battle for fourth. Kurt Schatzer off the track. He goes in the 218. Donovan Ross of the 05 has gone around. No caution flag. We stay green. Scott Rayo may have gotten a piece of that one too. Bachman trying to challenge for that race lead, but still side by side. And now Devo officially off the track. He goes a lap down. He's looking for a yellow flag. He gets it. And there's more contact mid-pack. Logan Wentz up in the wall. So we've got 2 added onto the fall-off count. While I do that, I look at the replay. Schatzer just simply lost it, nearly went over. Oh, so did Jason Butterfield as well. So that puts the fall-off count at 10. And then here's Donovan Ross in the 5. Ooh. Butterfield came back out on the track, and Devo just did not see that coming. And I'm guessing the car just lost steering here. Yeah. That pretty much was the case. And so, safe than sorry route, pulled her off the track. And iRacing had no choice but to throw the yellow. I believe now at this point, every restart, rest of the race is single file. Set to come back to green for the restart. Single file, rest of the way through. 11 laps to go. Dino in second with Isaac in front of him. We're back to green. Bachman trying to look low for second. Not working it out the way he wants. Logan Wentz, remember, he was squeezed up in the wall as we were coming to yellow. Looking underneath Brian Dickens for a spot. Dickens wants Dittmer for P6. Bachman still trying to get the low line to work, but it's just not working his way. You tell Morano has kept it up top. Normally by now he would be downstairs, but I don't think it's working out his way either. So he's stuck up down in fourth. 9 laps to go. Back to the 5-lap average once again. And your top 3 putting up just about identical lap times at the moment. Biggest, oh no, Logan Wentz off the track. Loses a couple spots. Will he merge back in properly? He cannot. He is still stuck. He merged back in without needing to call a yellow. Yellow waves for him. Ah, thought he was going to get that car going. No damage on the 118 otherwise. Tried to merge back in, but the car just would not turn onto the banking. And so let the field go by, yeah. Unfortunately, nothing he could do. I get what he was trying to do. Unfortunately, it just didn't work the way he wanted it to. How about the man that's currently in the 10th spot? Brennan Lacey and the new Stephen Goldner Racing team started back in 22nd. He's up 14 spots. Actually, hang on. Let's make sure that's correct. Yeah, he started 22nd, and he is up to 10th. So he's up 12 spots this evening. Pace truck comes into pit road this time. We have 6 laps of racing to go. Salas, Reynolds, Bachman, Morano, McLaren, the top 5. The classic Venom FTM battle again in 358s back to green. First driver underneath this Bachman trying to get it, that bottom groove to come in. But again, just not. Oh, there goes McLaren off the track. Bam! Into the wall. Heavy right front damage for Soupy. And we just need to show you the onboard camera. You know what happened there. Just lost it, and bam. Sledgehammer shot with the right front. You can see the suspension all bent. And so that fall off count now at 12. So working for some guys possibly. Should go 1 lap to green this time by. Alrighty, here we go once again. 4 to go. Salas leads, Reynolds second, Bachman third, Morano fourth, Dittmer fifth, Dickens sixth, Grandy seventh, Dixon eighth, Lacey ninth, Klump rounds out the top 10. Does Dino have anything for Salas, or will the number 5 dominate to win the season opener? Here we go. Bachman again. That bottom, does he have one last shot in him to go for a runner-up, if not a win? Oh, and the wall hard. Went one other guy. That's Morano in the 32. Another good contender bites the dust. Now, what happened here to the Magic Ant-Man? The same thing that McLaren did? Yep, same thing. This time it was with the entire right side of the car. And there was no cushioning there. That's a harder impact than we saw with McLaren. So if the Ant-Man wants to be in contention for another modified championship, chances are most certain that this is a race that will have to be dropped. Should be 1 to green this time. What will play out this time? Green-white checkered, not an overtime attempt, 2-lap shootout underway. And we're back to yellow. We'll go to overtime. I'm not sure for what, but Molyneux went around on the restart. Cautions breeding cautions. Here's what happened. Molyneux was restarting in the 12th position, which is to stack up with Jake Henry. Everybody going, trying to get on the brakes. But at this point, you know, you just can't see with the dust. Yeah. Give you a better idea from cockpit angle. How much dust has come up on the lens. But yeah, he's far back though. But like, you could see, but like there is a lot of brake checking from the looks of it. So now we head into our first of 2 attempts at overtime. If the leader does not take the white flag, we will go for one more attempt. If the yellow comes out before the white on the first attempt. If the yellow comes out before the white on the second attempt, this race is over. Once we take the white flag, we will have a green flag finish to the checkers. Coming to green this time by. Salas looking to hang on here. Back to green. We got one sideways, I believe, once again. That's the case in the background. I think it was Joe Musso this time that went around. And it was. So now we'll have one more attempt. These cautions are breeding cautions. Another stack up from the dust. And I wonder if there are going to be some inquiries about brake checking and or visibility issues. And this was with Henry once again. This all happened behind Jake. I'm not saying that Jake's doing anything wrong at the same time, but Henry's, right now, we know he's got at least 4 rocks because of all this. Right on board from the back of Wida. Not sure if there's any damage on the rear bumper bar. But from there, everything looked good. Maybe get a better angle here in 1. Yeah, nothing bent on the Snakes ride. A reminder, Rebels coming up next on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. As these last few laps have just turned into eye-pacing. We have not been able to get a green flag lap here in a while. Hoping to get 2 to the finish. Remember, if the yellow flag flies before we take the white, this race is over. And Isaac Salas would be the race winner.
Green, green, green.
Everybody through clean in 1 and 2. Reynolds clearing on Bachman for that second spot. It's his. Dickens and Grandy with a good race for the 5th position. Grandy nearly gets Brian Dickens. We're on the final lap. As it's Isaac Salas in the Super Dirt Car Series. Venom Racing, number 5. A good battle to the end last season. This time, he starts it off perfectly through 3 and 4. Isaac Salas takes the win the season opener at Lernerville. Reynolds 2nd, Bachman 3rd, Dittmer 4th, Dickens in 5th. Brennan Lace, the biggest mover from 22nd to 7th. So Isaac Salas gets to put her up on victory lane. As we will pull up your official results here from tonight. Salas wins by just over 7/10 of the second. As the donuts are about to commence, or a victory lap here for Isaac. Well, Jason Butterfield as well, finishing in the 13th spot after starting 23rd. Oh my gosh! Holy smokes, and he landed it! What in the world, Isaac? Oh boy, oh boy. Isaac was trying to make the not top 10 for iRacing when it comes out. There's a look at the rest of the field that did not finish. I need a good, watch this. YOLO, he cleared the billboard. He's floating. He actually floated on a couple trailers. Oh boy. Brandon, you see that?
I did see that. Yes, I did.
Oh, that's going to be a fun conversation. Alrighty, let's go to our 3rd place finisher in Sam Bachman. Sam, a good race for you. We saw you trying to test the bottom, but unfortunately just wasn't working out to try and get to Dean for 2nd. From your perspective, what were you expecting with the bottom tonight?
I was hoping it came up a little more alive, but it worked out in 1 and 2, but I lose a lot of my momentum in 3 and 4, so I think I hurt myself on gearing 2 a little bit, and I don't know, I just wish it wouldn't have got so slick in 3 and 4. Probably could have used it a little better.
Is it maybe something from the new update on iRacing that maybe changed something possibly, or was it working out for you earlier on in the race?
It was working pretty good. I think if I could have just went with a little different gear, I probably would have been a little better and could have got a good run on 3 and 4.
Well, hey, good way for you to start off the season with the 3rd, especially when a lot of fast drivers had issues earlier tonight. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
All the boys over at FTM, Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop, he's really been working hard getting some dig. Dino at Super Dirt Car Series, X for Insulation, Marty U for Broadcasting, and Coast Coast.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations on a 3rd. Good way to start the season.
Thank you.
So Sam Bachman finishing in the 3rd spot. Let's go to our 2nd place finisher. Bring him on in. That's Dean Reynolds, or that's Dino, or maybe I should say Santa Claus based off his paint scheme.
No, that's next week.
Oh, that's next week? Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Brandon will let you take this one.
Dean, hell of a run. You got up to 2nd really early, but unfortunately not able to close in on Isaac. What were you missing except for the dust being gone?
for him on lap 24 to have that right rear go completely off in turn 2. I don't know if you guys saw it, but he hung the right rear off in turn 2 on 25 or 24, and he had to burp it to save it, and that was the only way I was going to get him because I wasn't able to get enough run on him to try to throw a slider. So it was basically I'm going to stay here in second and hopefully him make a mistake. That's all that really was, and then pray that Sam wasn't making that bottom work better than he did. 1 and 2, he was great on the bottom, but 3 and 4, that was his Achilles. He just couldn't get enough momentum down there. So, but a good start, coming off the first win in open sets, and then to come back with a second in open sets to Isaac. I'm happy with that. That's a great way. I don't know if I can run for points or not, because I got to go down Florida in February, but at least it's a good point night.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you just stack up some of these second places, maybe there's a chance that you can squeeze in there. But as another friend, you got a 0x, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a 0x, but the problem is that the next 2 weeks are non-point weeks, and these are weeks I'm here.
Oh,
So yeah, so it's only a 10-week season this year, and I'm gonna miss at least 2 going down to Florida. So, when your drops are races that you can't be at, that hurts. Yes, it does. It hurts. So, but hey, second place, and we'll take it, and we'll move on.
Absolutely. Who would you like to thank for this run today?
I got to thank the guys from Full Throttle Motorsports. Great bunch as I always. Have a good time with those guys. We had a lot of fun in Discord tonight. Got to thank them. Swan Speed Shop, again, I ran the Swanee base. Swan Speed Shop, again, if you use code C2C, get 20% off all his sets. So I got to thank him. Top Notch Trucking, Isaac Scramps, got to thank him for allowing us to have this race televised, and so people at home can see. And Marty, got to thank you for doing the telecast, which is awesome. And Brandon, thanks to you for being in the room with them. And also Brian Lawson for this awesome paint. Brian doesn't do any paints right now anymore, but this is one of the last ones he did, and love to showcase it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Dan. Have a great run tonight.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you.
You as well, buddy. Dean Reynolds finishing in second. And now we go to Victory Lane to talk with your winner, Isaac Salas. I think the most exciting part of this race tonight, Isaac, was your celebration afterwards, floating over those trailers and clearing a billboard. What in the world was that?
I don't know, little bit of celebration, man.
That's one of the more unique celebrations. Unfortunately, it does not make the fall off count because the race is over.
Oh, perfect. Well, I didn't want to be a part of your fall off count anyway.
But anyway, how good was this setup tonight? It seemed like starting second at the same time, track position was key.
A little bit, yeah, for sure. But the setup was on it, to be honest with you. I think those first 15 laps, I probably could have, if it stayed green, we would have reached the back of the field within I don't know, lap 18, lap 20 probably. I was cruising. I know Dan was, I think, basically the same. Maybe one adjustment, if anything, but so we were pretty solid there. So it was good. I was pretty happy with that.
Cautions breeding cautions. Just what was going through your mind throughout those final laps?
Just trying to figure a way out to keep surprising Dean. He kind of basically knew exactly what I was gonna do, if I'm being honest. But if I just try to keep at least half a second, if anything, of a guess, and that's really all it came down to. I would say, just giving myself a good turns 1 and 2, and at least setting myself up for a good lap. And if he challenged me, he challenged me, but just not causing too many mistakes just by myself.
Well, a great run for you tonight, man. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Yeah, big shout-out to Venom Racing. It's starting to fill out pretty nicely with all the guys. So, and it's good to see some names we haven't seen that are making comebacks, like Mr. Dan. And I'm excited. I'm excited for this season. I'm excited for the next couple weeks. Dean Super Dirt Car Series, Magnum Race Designs, Tommy Gun Customs, JRB Designs for that scheme. I got him working on a sprint car scheme right now. Arson Trackside with you, sir. Mission 22. Gramps with Top Notch Trucking for now sponsoring me and this division. So that's pretty awesome that him and I get to be a part of that. And it's I think it makes him pretty excited to be able to get his racing fix without even having to leave the house. Shaggy TV, Regency Home Inspections, my mom, my dad, all my friends for watching, Kelser for watching even though she's at work. Thank you for the broadcast. And yeah, thanks Coast Coast for the league and everybody here. It was a lot of fun.
Alrighty, man. Great job tonight. Congratulations on the win, and hopefully we'll talk to you again later tonight.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm not in the Renegade. I'm not in the Rebels anymore. I'm in a Renegade.
Hey, about time. About time.
I know. I'm excited. So
there you go. Isaac Salas, your winner tonight in Open 358s, and gets it done. Wins the season opener. Let's go to break. Stay with us. Rebels up next to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a bit of a hiatus. So let's get.
Tonight we'll be talking about it.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
There's a look at Victory Lane, where everyone will want to be by the end of their races. Welcome back to the Coast to Coast Racing Network as action continues here on our season premiere of Monday Night Madness. We're ready to go for our Rebels division. So glad you could join us here. Marty Sakala alongside Brandon Dittmer. Now, Brandon, we've got the sun starting to set here. So as we get going here for our event, this seems like it's going to be the race where visibility will be a big issue.
Yeah, especially where it depends on where the sun is at. I don't know if iRacing has a problem, but the sun doesn't seem to move. The time of day doesn't seem to want to move along with the actual time. So I don't know if it's an iRacing problem or a host session problem or what, but if that sun's in a bad spot, it's going to make it for a very tough day for drivers.
Let's look at the current times here at the moment. Bear with me. I'm trying to get a pop out of my neck and my shoulder. That's what happens when you're sitting a lot throughout the day. Dylan Berg, the quickest. Same with Andy Patton. They've got the same 12.665 lap. Steve Bixler, third, 12.72. Joseph Grandy, fourth, 12.77. Roger Craig, fifth, 12.79. 14 drivers here with us this evening. And so that should give us 2 heats of 7. As qualifying is ready to go. So he's checking in while we are at it. Don't really have anyone new checking in, watching with us tonight. As qualifying is underway, we'll watch Berg here in the number 14 with a brand new paint job for the season. Fall off count currently at 13. Berg may have actually popped the wall. Now, if it was before or after the green, that's a good question. We'll have to see. First laps come on the board here. Berg quickest of everyone in Sector 2. 13.279 on lap 1 for Berg. Roger Craig second. Joe Musso in third. Quick time, Joseph Grandy, 100 grand up to the top at a 13.19. Donovan Ross, though, in the purple in Sector 1. He goes second quick at a 13.22. Now, if it's all greens on this second lap, could be likely that he's got a pole position lap. We'll just have to see what happens. Here comes Steve-O off at turn 4, all in the orange. Lap 2, 13.45. Andy Patton just finished up his second lap. He's fourth quickest. Bixler done. Mike Cranmer done. Almarno Melgosa coming to the start-finish line. He goes. So I don't know if that first lap count. Oh, he's on lap number 1 right now. Zach Chapman, lap 1 is 8, 13.61. Ooh, sideways was Shaggy. That second lap likely won't be good. It is a better lap. Oh, wow. Okay, 13.22 for Shaggy on lap number 2. Final moments here in qualifying. Likely the McLaren will likely get a second lap in. 13:52 on lap 1 for the driver, the number 88. He's in the green in sector number 1. He sends it deep. He likely has a better lap in sector number 2. That's the case. He's got a better lap. Where does he lie? Quick time! 13:147. What a lap from Dan McLaren. He puts her on pole. He'll start fourth in heat race number 1. Because of that, I believe it's Bixler and Craig that are on the pole position, and that is the case for each of the 2 heats. Heat race number 1 brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. Here's the starting lineup. As the mayor is on the pole, Steve Bixler in the 75. Next to him, Dylan Berg in the 14. Row number 2, Donovan Ross is in the 5, and Soupy Dan McLaren is in the 88. Row 3, Mike Cranmer. In car number 70, next to him is the Moose, Joe Musso, in the 00. Final car on the grid this evening, the captain, Gary Taylor, in the 34. Let's know who you're rooting for in the chat this evening, and if you haven't made a guess yet, give us your fall-off count. So this will determine our inside row here this evening. Pace truck already on pit road. It's Berg and Bixler. That'll bring us to green. Heat race number 1 underway for the Rebels division. 3 wide, Donovan Ross. Oh my! Hang on, Bixler. Oh my, there goes Bixler. Side over side out of the road. He's boating. He's bussing. He went to Lightning McQueen. He's out of the ballpark. Oh my goodness. There's Cranmer off the track, so we already got 2 on the fall-off count. Side by side for the lead. I believe Berg led that lap across the line. They're still wing to wing between your top 2, Brandon.
Going at it hard side by side. Oh! More contact! Oh no!
McLaren hangs on to it. That could be some right front wheel damage, though. Dylan Berg has the race lead. Donovan Ross, quickest car on track last time by. 12:13:35. Mike Cranmer off the track in turn number 2. So we have 3 drivers.
More contact!
Oh no! McLaren caught Dylan Berg racing for the lead. Through goes Devo. And Devo nearly gets sideways.
You gotta be kidding me.
Is there a possibility that Gary Taylor actually wins this heat race?
Oh, he's in second. What is happening?
I don't know, but I think some of us would like to see Devo lose this race. No offense. No offense. 2 laps.
I love you, Devo, but...
Yes. 2 laps to go. Meanwhile, Musso catching up to the captain for P2. Final lap underway. Gary hanging on to her off at turn number 4. See if Musso can grab second here. Here they come to the checkered flags. A wacky heat 1. And it's Donovan Ross that picks up the pole. Taylor second. Musso third. Fourth, Berg. But we have to add 3 on the fall-off count as it goes up to 16. But probably the most notable on the fall-off count. Joe Meitzler, you have a challenger for the wildest flip in Lernerville Speedway history. Who wants to go for a ride? Whee! Hang on, we gotta give you a better angle. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Bowden, 8, 9. My goodness.
Mr. Roger Craig has a new scheme.
Yes, he does. Ready for Heat 2? Heat 2 brought to you by Regency Home Inspection. Roger Craig, Andy Patton, row 1. Zach Chapman, Joseph Grandy, row 2. Greg Parma, Liam, Rondo Melgosa round out the field for this heat race. Green flag is out. Heat 1 underway. Side by side off the corners. The Bassman comes through with the early race lead. Shaggy looking for second on Patton. Good exit from the General, but it's Roger Craig that leads lap 1. Sideways is Roger. Zach Chapman says thank you very much. And Craig is down to third. Oh, man. Contact with Patton. Grandy puts Patton in the wall. The 87 still up in the air. Oh, man. We almost had one on the fall-off count. Had issues, though, moments ago with Armando Melgoza. Make sure that he's not being added to this count.
Grandy coming at Craig hard on the outside.
Chapman still in the race lead. Grandy makes the pass for second look very easy. Again, this is determining the outside row for our feature tonight. There's Roger Craig. Is that supposed to depict Santa's sleigh?
I'll have to take a closer look.
I don't know. We'd have to get it. I don't know. Roger texted me during warm-ups and tell me what the scheme resembles. Or, no, don't text and drive. Because he just got sideways once again.
I think it is supposed to represent Santa's sleigh.
Grandy ripping the cushion all around, getting really close to going over the track. Final lap is underway. Shaggy still has the Halloween paint scheme on, but hey, it's turned into his own. Full time, checkers wave. Zach Chapman wins Heat 2. Grandy second, Craig third, Parmalee fourth, Patton fifth, Melgoza sixth. Step aside and go to break. Stay with us, the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Warm-ups continuing here in Lernerville Speedway, Andy Patton the quickest, 13.626. Dan McLaren second, 13.66. Joseph Grandy third, 13.67. Steve Bixler fourth, 13.73. Zach Chapman fifth, 13.76. Joseph Grandy the top at a 13.62. Brandon, did we have anyone fall off in Heat 2?
Not that I saw.
Yeah, same here. Just want to make sure with you. So... fall off count is at 16. As we are ready to go for our second feature of the night. 30 laps. Top 5 will transfer regardless of IL. That's like that for the first 2-3 weeks of the season. Let's meet the field and give you the RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole, Donovan Ross in the 5. Devo's next to Shaggy. Zach Chapman in the 72. Row number 2, the captain, Gary Taylor in the 34. And 100 grand, Joseph Grandy in the 518. Row 3, the Moose, Joe Musso in the 00. And the Bassman, Roger Craig in the 747. Row 4, Dylan Berg in car number 14. And Greg Parmalee in the 4. Rounding out the top 10, it's Dan McLaren in the number 88, and the General Andy Patton in the 87. Row 6, Mike Cranmer in the 70, and Armando Melgoza in the 531. Final row tonight, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75. So 13 drivers will take the green this evening. Want to thank the newest member of Coast to Coast for sponsoring our Rebels division this season. That is RaceMed. RaceMed along with the Salty Dogs. Proud partner of our Rebels division. Offering the best solutions at racetracks for all your safety needs. Trusted by tracks all over Ontario. Brandon picks to win.
Ooh, boy. You know what? I got faith in Dan McLaren coming from 9th.
Give me my booth boy. Give me Shaggy to take the win. There's just something special about P2 this evening at Lernerville. So we're ready to go for the Flatline Racing Bodies green flag. Racetracks and Sunsets Lernerville CC Dean. Field makes their way through 3 and 4. Second time tonight that it's time to shake and bake. Donovan Ross, Zach Chapman, bring us to green. It's time to get it on. Flatline Racing Bodies green flag as Zach Chapman looking for the lead after Donovan Ross took it away moments ago. Shaggy leads lap number 1 as the battle for the lead has 3 cars amongst it.
Dan McLaren up to 4th already.
Yep,
Berg and Taylor banged wheels.
Yeah, made his way past both the 34 and the 14. Andy Patton 3 wide. Roger Craig gets a little bit wide, keeps all 4 wheels on the island. Taylor up the hill for just a moment. Patton and Musso each trying to look downstairs. Battle for the lead, 3 wide. Donovan Ross trying to go through. Can't get her to the point, but the top 4 all under a blanket here, Zach.
Back.
Sorry, Brandon.
Dan McLaren's really trying to make contact between Dave and Dave.
And around goes Taylor and Pat hard to the wall. The General over the interstate. Oh my, he's into the infield.
Green?
Yeah, he's in the infield.
That's
Now
a
the
caution.
yellow flag waves. Kramer and Parmalee involved, and man, there have been a lot of wild rides tonight. Now, does that count as a fall off on the inside?
Hold on, I gotta go back. Who are we watching?
Andy Patton, does that count?
Let's see here. Ooh, I don't know. I'm gonna leave that up to you, Marty.
Oh, okay. I gotta think about this one because we've never
That's a
had that happen.
violent ride.
Greg Parmalee. Now this was further back. Parmalee and Cranmer got together, and around went both of them. And they made even more contact. You know what? We're doing it. He fell off. He fell off the track. So that counts.
Hey, technically, yes. Technically, yes.
Alrighty, set for the restart here. Zach Chapman, Joseph Grandy, row 1. Dan McLaren, Dylan Berg, row 2. Joe Musso, Roger Craig, row 3. Gary Taylor, Armando Malgosa, Steve Bixler, Greg Parmalee round out the top 10. Back to green we go. Ooh, McLaren slides up the hill, tried to send it deep for the race lead. He and Grandy go wing to wing for second. McLaren slides job for the lead. That's a beauty. McLaren takes it to the point. Chapman with a crossover move, slide job for the 72. Some contact between Grandy and McLaren. That causes the 88 to fade just a little bit. So Shaggy hangs on to the race lead right now.
Look at Dylan Bird on the bottom.
He's making her work. Started back in 7th. He make his way up to the spot. McLaren looking for the race lead up on the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Soupy puts her out in front.
Dan cuts off Zach Chapman as he tries to pull a slider. Zach's going to have a big run going into 3 and 4.
Oh, baby, this is awesome. 3 up top, 1 downstairs. It's Shaggy. Berg up in the wall. He loses some time. Finds his way back onto the throttle. Gary Taylor, around he goes, along with Mike Cranmer. No caution, we stay green. Cranmer below the racetrack. We'll keep her going. Oh, no! Grandy! Oh, no! Damn McLaren!
And there's no caution!
No yellow. Berg to the lead.
There's a
Now the
caution.
caution waves.
Oh, my Lanta, what just happened?
What the hell just happened? We got a lot to digest. First off, I believe Andy was just coming back onto the racetrack. Yeah, that was the case there. Now let's show you Gary Taylor and Mike Cranmer.
Oh, my. Oh, wow.
Taylor just got sideways and it was right in front of the 70. And then this is where everything just breaks loose. McLaren came up in front of Grandy. Around went the 72. Then McLaren goes for a wild ride. Whose was better, McLaren or Bixler? You be the judge.
I think McLaren and Grandy both had the toe. They're going to be fighting, trying to get back out on the lead lap.
So we are adding 2 onto the fall-off spot. All-off count. Oh, boy. Right on board here with, let's go on board with McLaren. And the barrier stops him there. So we have to add 2 more onto the fall-off count. And we'll put her at 19 as we come back to the green flag. We'll watch the Chapman Racing drone. A fresh front row, Dylan Berg and Joe Musso to bring us to the green flag with 12 laps in the books. Three wide for second. Donovan Ross showed his nose underneath. Didn't get it to work that time. Wing to... Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Bam! Big impact for Devo.
Oh, my.
Bixler to second. Craig to third. Malgosa up to fourth. Chapman from spinning is up to fifth. But how about the mayor? From flipping in his heat race, Started back in 12th. He's up to second.
Up to second and trying to run down Dylan Berg, but it might just prove futile. Dylan Berg is so good on tracks like this.
Absolutely. Just flawless. A lot of things to digest here, people. We had something else, I believe, as well. Nope, McLaren coming back onto the racetrack. Watch
Next
Devo
up, it passes
and
Roger Craig for third.
yeah, watch Devo and Musso get together right here. No control, and Ross is onto the ride.
Unfortunately, that wreck put Dan McLaren down 2 laps, so his night is unfortunately over.
Absolutely. Lernerville has not been treating these drivers with kindness, that's for sure.
Lernerville always knows how to put a little bit of spice onto some of these races.
Absolutely. We make it spicy, though, with the fall-off count.
That was always a fun additive.
Yes. Best battle on track is the race for 4th. Roger Craig, Martin Melgoza. Now Melgoza gets sideways. This allows Grandy to close in a little bit. Looks high, wide, and handsome off the corner. McLaren with a slider. Look out! These two just met earlier in the race. Grandy and McLaren. I thought we were going to see the same thing happen this time off of turn number 4 there, Brandon.
Yeah, that was really close. I don't.
Oh, hang on, Armando.
Was around. Caution
Yellow
comes
flag is out with 9 laps to go. He just had way too much throttle there. Had something else with Andy Patton earlier, I believe. Let's take a look. Lost it. Into the wall he went. And now to look at what happened with Melgoza. That car he had a handful there off of turn 4. Let's watch the onboard here with the number 531. Yeah, he had some throttle. No throttle. Even with no throttle, I think it would not have helped. How about a look at the 5-lap average? To show you Dylan Berg dominating over the rest. There you go.
Ah. Oh.
Here we come for the restart. Pace truck is in. Berg leading with 8 laps to go. Bixler second, Chapman third, Craig fourth, Grandy fifth.
Green flag, green flag.
Chapman's got a chance at P2 here on Bixler, Brandon.
He's fighting for it as there's contact between Roger Craig and Joseph Grandy.
More contact. Craig and Musso getting together as well.
Zach got a big run on Bixler.
Taylor
lost it.
off the track he goes. One bunny hop sends it around. 6 laps to go, and I tell you what, Bixler not giving up. Oh, look at Joseph Grandy. 2 for 1. Oh, baby, he went on the haunted shield line. Makes his way through, takes away second with 5 to go.
So excuse me, I'm here to win, boys.
Just pulled a Lewis Hamilton. Wrecked earlier, made the fall off count. He's a second behind on Dylan Berg. Needs a yellow, though, to get back into it. We still watch the battle for P3. Bixler's opened up the door for Zach Chapman, and Shaggy's through to third. Back to fifth here, Roger Craig, Joe Musso. Remember, this is for a spot in Renegades tonight, and Musso won't get it. Around he goes with the 0-0.
Berg tapped the wall. Grandy now on the outside of Dylan Berg for the lead.
Here we go, side by side, coming to 2 laps to go. We actually got a battle in our hands. Berg gives Grandy the lane. The 518, top shelf where Mama hides the cookies, takes the lead off at turn number 2.
Gave him an inch. Grandy took the whole mile. And he is going to run away with this thing on the last lap. White flag.
But will Greg Parmalee be a factor here? No, Grandy gets by. Berg having issues getting past the 4. The 518. He went off the road of the back straight. In the start of the race, he comes across the line, finishing first. Grandy the winner. Berg second, Chapman third. Bixler up 9 to 4th, and Craig 5th. Wow, wow, wow. This is going to be a race where all the drivers will want to take a nap afterwards.
Unfortunately, 6 drivers ended on the lead lap here. That is super unfortunate for how this field was. But an exciting race nonetheless.
Fall off count, I believe, is at 23, if not 24. Have to double check. Yep, it's at 23. We can confirm. So here are the results from tonight. Grandy the winner, Berg second, Chapman third, Bixler fourth, Craig fifth. All eligible to move up. Biggest mover, Bixler, finishing in P4 after starting 13th. Couple of drivers there on the bottom with some heartbreaks this evening. And we've got your top 3 all in here, and we'll begin with third place finisher Zach Chapman. Brandon will let you take the interview with Chags.
Hey, Zach, it's Brandon. Got me?
Yeah, hey, what's up, Spider Monkey?
That's a heck of a race you put on. Reckon there at about 15 to go and able to come back up. What all were you missing there to get up to those last 2 people?
Well, I felt like I was gonna finish second if I could find a way around Steve, but man, Grandy, he came out of nowhere and showed me that there was grip up there. I couldn't run it as well as he could, but it was enough to end up getting that final podium spot. But I really don't know what it's gonna take because I'm gonna run this next race, and I can tell you there's a lot of Joseph Grandys in there. So I don't plan on doing that well here at the end of the feature, but we're gonna see what happens.
Hey, you never know what happens, man. Throw some stuff together, you might be contending for a top 3 again. But you know, this track is so unpredictable, and especially with the dust now and everything else, how hard is it to hold on to that top side?
You know, it's more so it's kind of weird. I never really had this problem before. Normally I'd swing it into Lernerville and lose the rear end over the top first, but there were a couple times there, even with like 3 or 4 to go, I really slowed down in turns 3 and 4. Car was just really tightening up on me up top, so I'm gonna have to maybe go down and pick Isaac's brain or see if John Hines down there and figure out what we can do to loosen this thing in the center of the corner.
Well, Isaac's got a lot of tips for tightening a car, maybe not loosening it, but you know, maybe never know. See what he
I'll just do the opposite of what he says.
Yeah, you know, it might work. You just never know. We got to thank for this run tonight.
Appreciate you and Marty for being up in the booth first and foremost. All my teammates at Gambler Motorsports, my dad, my wife, Roger, and all the guys at the league. My own deal there, Shaggy TV, and I think that's it there.
Awesome. Well, congrats on the run tonight, and hope said we'll see you in the Renegades.
Oh yeah, dude. Anytime I advance now, I'll be there, brother.
Luck in the Renegades.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
So Zach Chapman, your third place finisher here tonight with our Rebels division. And now we go to the man that finished in P2. Brandon, can you move him in for me? My mouse is having some issues.
Yeah.
Let's get him on in here. Dylan Berg finishing second. There he is. Dylan, a nice run for you tonight. That's got to be a tough break, though. Dominating this race, taking advantage of some of the guys that Grandy, who was involved in an incident tonight, then coming back to take the win.
Yeah, man. He found the top. I just don't have the confidence to run the top up there. He kept leaning on that cushion we were just talking about, and he could just drive it easy, and I just couldn't get up there. But yeah, it felt good to run up front. And I kind of benefited from that mid-race wreck from them, but then he got up front and won it. But I'm happy with what I got.
Were you trying the top back in warm-ups, or was it something that you couldn't really trust tonight, risking that you could fall off the track?
Yeah, this track's tricky, man. Like, it just takes a little bit to go off the top. So I just figured once I found that bottom and I had that one restart and I was pulling away quite a bit, I thought I had it, but I think it kind of went away. So,
who do you want to give shout-outs to?
I want to thank Inferno Motorsports, JRB Designs, all the guys at Inferno, man. They've helped me out a ton this last season and this season. So, Speed Factory, Highline Cinematography, AJ Creations.
Well, great job tonight, man, on the performance. Best of luck in Renegades. If not, we'll see you next week.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Marty.
So Dylan Berg finishing in P2. Now we are ready to go to Victory Lane to talk with your winner. 100 grand takes the checkered flag for the season opener. If I can get my mouse to move up here. There we go. We got it. Brandon, we'll let you take Joseph.
Hey, Joseph, this is Brandon. Got a copy?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Heck of a run tonight, getting caught up in a wreck and making an absolute run back on the top side. How were you able to do it?
The cushion in 1 and 2 is actually piled up there nice and good. You can feel when you're on it, so you can just rip right along with it. And nobody else is really running it. And that was about it. I got caught up to Dylan, and he said he wasn't going to move up, so I just went right around, and that was about it.
And once you're hooked up on that top side, especially with no dust, it almost makes it almost too easy, doesn't it?
Yeah, especially, after you've done it the whole race. It's all muscle memory, and it's just a lot easier than trying to hit the bottom or something else.
That it is. When you got into that wreck earlier, do you think, like, especially when you had it towed, do you think, like, oh, this might be it for me?
Yeah, it looked like Dan was trying to block me and Zach, and maybe got kind of a little confused on what to do. And I honestly thought he was going to leave me a gap because he was going about 20 miles an hour slower than I was, but I thought wrong. And yeah, I actually made it out by they were going into turn 3 while I was coming out, so I just barely made it out.
Can't ask for much more than that. So you got anybody you'd like to thank for this run tonight?
Yeah, Catalytic Recovery, West End Tone and Repair, all the guys over at Inferno, Highline Photography, my girlfriend Olivia, all the guys over at Coast to Coast, and appreciate you guys for doing the broadcast.
Awesome. Are we gonna see you in Renegades?
Yeah, I'll give it a run.
All right, sounds good. All right. Good luck.
Thanks.
Joseph Grandy gets it done here at the Renegade. I'm sorry, in the Rebels. He'll move up to the Renegades. We will step aside and come back with the Renegades next in the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be
A bit of a hiatus, so let's get.
Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
We're back here at Lernerville Speedway as we are set to go for Renegade action here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. 35 laps around the corner. We're so glad he could join us. Marty Sakala alongside Brandon Dittmer. I swear, I just saw somebody go off. Hang on a second. I just saw a sprint car go flying once again. I want to have some fun and see who that is. Yeah, I may have lost it. Never mind. Brandon getting set to go here for 35 laps. You brought it up earlier, and you said that this track was starting to get really burnt out. Is that what we're going to see here tonight?
Yeah, this is really interesting. I don't think I've ever seen it this burnt off for Renegade's start time, but it is extremely slick out here already. This is going to be an interesting mix. Who can have it set up for the bottom? Who can run that top side and run that very thin cushion that it's already been?
Clevenger, your quickest driver on track at a 12.667, followed by Stephen Goldner in second. Brennan Lacey third, John Hine fourth, and Terry Landis rounding out your top 5. Should be a fun one coming up here in just a matter of moments, so stay tuned for that. Full field as well tonight. 24 drivers. If we get one more driver to fill in, we will have a B main. The fun question I think everyone has is, do they want to see a B main or do they not? What would you say? Do you want to have a B main or not?
You know, in the Renegades, I would love to see a B main. I don't think we've seen a B main in a long time here in the Renegades. I would love to see one. But if there is one driver that disconnected, I think he was meant to join the Rebels earlier, but he missed it, so he thought he could join the Renegades, so we had to disconnect and leave. So we are down to 23 people.
I think that was my buddy Cody Early.
That would be correct, yes.
So anyway, qualifying set to begin. Get your first driver out here. We'll watch Brendan Lacey in just a moment. I'm updating some numbers here as we speak. There we go. All right, let's watch Brendan here as qualifying is underway for our Renegades. Again, 2 minutes, 2 laps to show us what you got. Lacey likely to set the bar here in qualifying. Brandon Dittmer to the top, 13.640. Rick Mayne now quickest at 13.54. Along with Brandon Dittmer goes 13.64. Second lap for Brendan Lacey comes through. We'll see where he clocks in. And a 14.22. Dittmer slowing up as he's second quick. Rick Mayne with his Christmas scheme currently the quickest. Joseph Gray just finished up a lap. He is now down to 5th, 14.05 on lap 2. Best lap 13.75. Blake Chapman third quick at a 13.69. What does the salesman have offer for a slower lap? 13.80. John Hine fourth. Great lap for him at a 13.72. Jack Hitt rounds out the top 5. The Pink Panther, Jesse Exit up to 7th at 13.78. Landis off for turn 4, nearly kissed the wall. 2/10 off the pace, 14.21. Here comes Steve Bixler off for turn number 4. What does the mayor have in him? Better lap at a 14.03. Isaac Salas, 9th quick on lap 1, 13.83. Chad Greggs coming off for turn number 4 on lap number 2. His lap time may be better. We'll see. It is 13.79. That's for Isaac Salas, slower at 11th quickest. Zach Chapman 7th. Rick Mayne, the quickest driver on the track. And we will have a full field this evening at 24. So I believe we will have a free B main. That'll just be a fun field practice session. Would I be correct on that, Brandon?
I'm not 100% sure.
We have 25 drivers with us.
Yeah, Dean did just connect at the last second. I see also Brian Lawson trying to connect. I don't think he made it in time, though. I also don't think he's a Renegades driver. I don't think he'll be counted in this equation. But yes, we should have just a freelance B main coming in here.
Ready for Heat 1, brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. Here's the starting lineup as Chad Griggs is on the pole in the 27. Next to him, Shaggy Zach Chapman in the 72. Road 2, the Professor, John Hine in the 71, and Rick Mayne in the 187. Road 2, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161. He's on the outside of Brad Waite in the 814. Row 4, the Bassman, Roger Craig in the 747, and Ross the Boss Corinna in the 10 round out the field. Top 4 drivers directly to the A main. The rest of the drivers will get an extra practice session to work on their car. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. It was quiet in the Rebels. Nobody wanted to talk to us. Talk to us, dang it.
We don't bite up here. Come on, y'all.
No, we don't.
Green flag, green flag.
Set for the green flag here in Heat 1. We're underway. Chad Griggs, a little bit sideways off for turn 2. Good start. Can he clear Zach Chapman? Not just yet. Look at Rick Mayne. Move up to 3rd. Can he clear Hine for the spot? Yes, he can. 3 wide further back. Chapman for the lead. Griggs nearly makes contact with him, and Chapman slides his way through the point. Good run from Griggs in the turn 3. They're side by side, Brandon. Whoa!
Oh, Chapman's going to come down, almost catch Rick Main. Luckily, they're going to miss. Griggs goes back to the top, goes to the middle. Zach Chapman throws it in hard into 1 and 2.
Nice crossover from Shaggy as he takes the lead. Griggs says he ain't done just yet. Slide job, Griggs. He's got it. The 27 moves through. Here comes Rick Main, high, wide, and handsome. Can he grab second off at turn number 2? The answer is yow, not yet. Top 3, though, all under a blanket, BD, for this lead.
Rick has found something there on that high side, about middle slider, and then just zooming right off the corner.
Ooh, Griggs slams the door. Oh, look at Main thread the needle. Oh, my. Griggs, around he goes.
No.
Wow. I'll give him credit for not making contact with anybody else. That was just some good hard racing there, Brandon.
That was absolutely good hard racing. You love to see that. Unfortunately, just a bad outcome for Griggs. Zach goes hard in 1 and 2. Rick Main hard in out of 2.
Look at Ross Corina. Where did the boss come from? He started back in 8th. He's up to 3rd. Oh, no! May, everybody, except for
the whole field.
Way involved. How about Roger Craig? He's going to get a couple spots out of this.
Roger's going to get a nod to the A main right away.
Checkers wave. Chapman starts on pole tonight. Wade finishes 2nd. Main, after all of that, finishes 3rd, and Craig 4th.
What in the world?
This has been a wacky night tonight, Brandon.
That it has.
So Shaggy wins Heat 1. He starts on pole position this evening. And we're ready to go for Heat 2. Here's your starting lineup. As Sly Job's on the pole, Isaac Salas in the 5. Next to him, the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson in the 127. Row number 2, Gentleman Jack Kid in the 217. Next to the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Row 3, Brendan Lacey in the 114 and Stephen Goldner in the 30. Final row tonight, Barry Goldner in the 36. Next to him, the wild child, Dean Reynolds in the 79 with that Jack Hodenshield throwback. Whoo, that looks hot. Now, I can't do it as good as Johnny Gibson. Johnny does it a lot better with that impression of the wild child, Jack Hodenshield.
There's no beating Johnny Gibson.
No, there is not.
It's gonna be a sad day in racing sports when he retires.
It absolutely will be a sad day.
Did I say racing sports? What am I saying here?
It's a weird night for all of us. We'll just say that. Ready for Heat 2. Brought to you by Regency Home Inspection. Green flag waves, here we go. Good jump from Isaac Salas. 3 wide for 2nd. Brandon Dittmer trying to go with the 2-for-1 discount. Ooh, tight racing. 3 wide. Lacey side by side with the 83. Lap 1, though, led by Isaac Salas. Four wide and 4 for a 2nd. Jack Hitt looked all the way downstairs as possible. Now you got Stephen Goldner trying to thread the needle in the battle for 3rd. Here comes Sly Job Salas. And the number 5 through the point, Brandon Dittmer. Off the track, he had one out of the fall-off count. Lacey looking for P2. Salas says, no, you don't. Atkinson hanging on to that race lead for now. The final spot to go directly through to the show. Still Jack Hitt and Stephen Goldner going at it there. Jacks look definitely impressive in a Renegade 360, but still, oh, they bang wheels into turn 1. Everybody hanging on. Dino trying to pick up some spots. It's hit, nearly got into Goldner once again. Let's go back up front for the race lead. We've got 2 laps to go. It's a 3-car shootout. Atkinson, Salas, and Lacey. Good bite on corner exit for the number 5. Isaac making that bottom line come to life. Atkinson so good on corner exit. Final lap underway. A 3-car shootout for the white. Great slider from Salas. He leaves Atkinson with a top lane. Brennan Lacey may try to throw the needle. Salas with a slider off for turn 4. Does it work? Yes, it does. Salas takes the win. Atkinson second. Lacey third. And Stephen Goldner fourth. Oh, man, what a hell of a heat race. Brandon, I got bad news. You're a fall-off count number 24 on the night.
Huge.
Now our free B main, oh no, I'm sorry, one more heat race left to go. Brought to you by Maurer Farm Management. And it's the Money King, Kyle Moonen on the pole in the 24. Next to him, Dylan Berg in the number 14. Row 2, 100 grand Joseph Grandy in the 518. Next to him, the salesman Blake Chapman in the 20. Row 3, Jack Clevenger in the 78. And the mayor Steve Bixler in the 75. Final row, Brian Moore Sr. in the 558 and John Short in the 51. So getting set to go here for heat race number 3. I got my eye on 2 guys here, Blake Chapman and Dylan Berg. What about you?
Keep my eye on good old Joseph Grandy. He's fast.
He definitely has been tonight.
Green, green, green.
Final heat race is green. Up the hill goes Kyle Moonen with a good start. Joseph Grandy, nice run on Dylan Berg, but don't give him the top side. Berg and Chapman nearly get together. Lap number 1 led by Moonen. Berg downstairs, washes up, clears Moonen for right now, but he gives the 24 the lane. Remember, Dylan Berg does not like the high side, could pay him a dividend. Moonen to the lead here, Brandon.
Moonen's taking full advantage of him giving him that top size. Grandy is also trying to work his way up there. Look at Chapman all the way on the bottom, saying, hello, boys, I'm here too.
Yes, he is, the salesman. Looking to pay out some prices. Moonen still not able to pull away from this battle. 3 wide for just a second, and it is on for P2. I think Grandy may have edged out Berg there for that runner-up spot.
I think Berg got him this time around, but Grandy's surely looking to get him this time around. Oh, no!
There goes Grandy off the track, 360. Fall off count number 25 for possibly the quickest guy on track. That may have sealed the fate here in this heat race. May have gone to Moonen, but don't count Dylan Berg out just yet here, Brandon.
Berg is really trying to make that bottom side work as much as he can, but he's not as low as Blake Chapman was, so he's maybe losing a little bit on corner entry.
Yeah, Berg a lot better in the entry, Moonen better on the exit. Final lap underway here in heat race number 3. Winner starts inside of row number 2. If you're Berg, do you go for the slider? He's right there on Kyle Moonen. Berg sends it. Is it deep enough? Into 3 and 4. Yes, it is! Berg steals it from Moonen at the end.
What a move.
Big heat win for the number 14. Yes, absolutely, Brandon. What a move. Wasn't a slider, but just went into the corner deep enough where he could keep it on the gas and just clear, not letting Moonen put in the crossover. So we are ready for our B main. Got to update the fall off count here first. That goes to 25. Again, this is a extra practice B main, but will also help with your starting position tonight. Here's what the field looks like for the Consi. As the boss is on the pole, Ross Carino in the 10. Next to him, Dean Reynolds in the 79. The Wild Child. Row 2, Brian Moore Sr. in the 558 and Chad Griggs in the 27. Row 3, Gentleman Jack Hitt in the 217 and the Mayor Steve Bixler in the 75. Row 4, Terry Landis in the 161 and Barry Goldner in car number 36. Rounding out the top 10, John Short in the 51 and the Professor John Hine in the 71. Row 6, Brandon Dittmer, the Spider Monkey in the 83 and Joseph Grandy in the 518. Cody Early not eligible for the green flag. Brandon, good luck. Hopefully you can pick up some spots here in this B main.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Winner starts in 13th tonight. We're underway. Nearly 3 wide for the second spot. Moore and Reynolds get together. Nice save for the 558. Almost caught Jack Hitt as well at the same time as the battle is on for P2. Reynolds edges out Griggs, but it's Carino who leads lap 1. 3 wide for the 4th spot. Jack Hitt comes out with the edge. John Hine, Brandon Dittmer got together. Both of them upside down, and Dittmer's in the infield. A look at what happened. A lot of contact. Hine up on 2 wheels. And Dittmer completely through. He'll get a fall-off count for that. We gave it to Patton earlier, and I believe it was the feature for that same reason. So Griggs up into P3. It's going to be Griggs in the 2nd, Hitt 3rd. How about Terry Landis? Trying to make a move here on Gentleman Jack Hitt for 30 here, Brandon.
Yeah, Terry looking low. Look. Oh, it gets loose.
Caught it, though, for a good save.
Absolutely. As Jack Hitt kind of chops his nose off, hoping to kill some of that momentum.
Hitt trying to catch up to Chad Griggs in the 27. Forgot to bring him up before the race started. Actually, we'll hold on that as Landis still trying to grab 3rd. Let's see if the bike can work for the Desert Demon. Caught that small little bump, though, in turn 4. But it stays side by side. John Short. Add him to the fall-off count. Chad Griggs has caught Ross Carino, though, for the battle. Griggs, we talked about him after the final race last season, going into the beginning of the season. Bixler off the road, so add 2 on that. Griggs will be a contender for the championship this season. Here comes Griggs for the lead. Final lap is underway. Carino slams the door, Brandon.
Carino's going to slam the door one last time. He's going to get a great run at it, too. That will all but seal it.
Absolutely, that it will. Checkers wave. Carino takes the win in the last chance B-main, the extra practice B-main. Griggs 2nd, Landis 3rd, Hitt 4th, Moore 5th, Goldner 6th, Reynolds in 7th. We will put up 2. Fall-off count goes in at 28. And so with that, we will step aside. When we come back, our features, stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Mics are hot. Back here with action at the Lernerville Speedway. Right now, Rick Main currently the quickest driver on track at a 14:07. Chad Griggs second, 14:13. Ross Corina third, 14:14. Blake Chapman fourth, 14:23. And Brendan Lacey fifth at a 14:26. Big wreck there with Lacey and Corina. Dang.
That was massive.
These flips are getting feisty for some reason. Steven Goldner on track. Now owning his new team. Clevenger, Craig Salas working together as the checkers wave here in our final warm-up of the night. So we are ready to go racing. 35 laps around Lernerville. Let's meet the field and give you the RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole, Shaggy, Zach Chapman in the 72. Next to him, Slide Job, Isaac Salas in the 5. Row number 2, Dylan Berg in the 14 and Brad Waite in the 814. Row 3, the Pink Panther, Jesse Exon in the 127. And the Money King, Kyle Moonen in the 24. Row 4, Rick Main in the 187. And Brendan Lacey, the Lowline Master, in the 114. Rounding out the top 10, the Salesman, Blake Chapman in the 20. And the Bassman, Roger Craig in the 747. Row 6, Steven Goldner in the 30, and Jack Clevenger in the 78. Row 7, Ross the Boss Corina in the 10, and Chad Griggs in the 27. Row 8, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161, and Gentleman Jack Hitt in the 217. Rest of the field, row 9, Brian Moore Sr. and Barry Goldner. Row 10, the Wild Child, Dean Reynolds in the 79, and John Short in the 51. Row number 11, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 83, and Dean Reynolds in the, and Steve Bixler in the 75. Final row tonight, the Professor, John High in the 71. No call to the grid for Joseph Grandy, who starts 24th. Picks to win this evening. This is a tough one. Man.
This is a really tough one. Track conditions, roster. Oh boy. You know what? Give me the Salesman.
You want Blake?
I will take Blake.
I will raise Blake and give you Zach.
I like Zach. I think he can do this.
So, alrighty, good luck, man.
Thank you.
One lap to the green flag. As we are ready to go. 23 drivers set to go to battle. 35 laps around Lernerville, ready for the Flatline Racing Bodies green flag. Well, folks, it is time to wing it and bring it. Because where else would you rather be than right here, right now, from coast to coast? It's showtime in the Steel City. Side by side off the corner, Isaac Salas currently leads over Zach Chapman. Lap 1 led by the 5-3 wide for the 3rd, 4th position. Jesse Atkinson underneath on Dylan Berg. Blake Chapman trying to utilize the lawn. Could it be 4 wide? No! Atkinson got yeets. Dylan Berg, everybody scatters. Jack hits him. Yellow flag is out for the first time tonight. Tough break for Berg in the 14, who won Heat 3. Here's a look at what happened here. Axane a little bit too deep into Berg. Around he goes. Everybody scatters. Unfortunately, Jack Hitt committed to the lane. Nothing he could do about it. On board with Berg in the 14. Let's go on board with Jack, show you his perspective in which he had nowhere to go one bit. Yeah, he couldn't even go up high. He didn't want to hit the guy next to him. Couldn't go low either. Yeah, Jack unfortunately was trapped. While we wait to go back to green, look at the schedule coming up for the rest of the week. Tomorrow night, Old Timer Tuesday, retreads. 360s at Lernerville, pickup trucks at Daytona. Wednesday night, Hometown Heroes at Huset's, Midgets 360s and 410s. Thursday night Thunder with small blocks and big blocks at Charlotte. Rest of the week is on Shaggy TV. Next week, don't forget, we've got the Dig and Corona Chili Bowl Memorial. Monday night, we've got the prelims. And Tuesday night is Soup Night. Don't want to miss out on any of that. Open to everyone. Donations only. 2-day event for the Virtual Driller Trophy. Next Monday Night Madness race we have will be on the 30th. It'll take place at I-55. We'll go from a long track to a short track. Don't forget other big events coming up. New Year's Eve, the New Year's Eve special, the Big Block 200 lap feature. Stand by for more info on that. And then the New Year's Day special event, the Huset's 100. All right here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. First restart coming up here. Single file, not too sure for why. May have to do with track conditions possibly, but Isaac Salas brings us back to green. Pulled away a lot there from Zach Chapman on that restart. Atkinson underneath the 814 for that bottom step of the podium. 3 wide for just a second in the center of the corner. Wade trying to get a big run here off of turn 2 on Atkinson to see if he can pull up with Zach Chapman for that second position. Trouble Ross Carino has gone around, and he's lost the wing. John Short. Brandon Dittmer also collected. Get you looking at what happened to the boss. Did he lose it? Oh, yes, he did. In the wall, and that's the worst part. Back out into traffic. Caught Craig, Short, Clevenger, Dittmer. On board with Corinna. Almost had it. Just enough speed to launch and back out. Let's go on board with John Short. Everything's good. Everything's good. It sees the car. Thinks he's good. Did not expect him to be right there. So now the question is, will we hit 30 on the fall off count? Man, I am way off tonight. I thought with everything that was going down, we were going to see not some good stuff happen. So now we go double file. Not too sure why it was single file originally, but now we are double file. We're watching the Chapman Racing drone. Salas and Chapman, row 1. Atkinson Waite, row 2. Main and Moonen, row number 3. Lacey Chapman, row 4. Griggs Goldner, round out your top 10. Salas selects the bottom, back to green. And Waite takes advantage of this big time. Through he goes to second. And I think he had it secured to the line. Look out, Moonen. Chapman, Zach Chapman to be specific, get together. Zach lost a plethora of spots. He is down to 7th off that last restart. Nearly 4 wide for a moment. Everybody getting loosey and goosey. Barry Goldner flipped upside down and staying with Bixler. Second time tonight Bixler's been on his noggin. And we will see what happened with the 36. A lot of tight racing in the back of the pack. Golner contact from Hine up on 2 wheels. In it with Bixler, and there they go. Right on board with Bixler. Yeah, Hine came up into the 36. And there they go. Each of them in the pits. So we should come to green this time by and let us know who you're rooting for. And myself and Trevor Drew each going to be way off here tonight. Drew had 49, I had 55. Trying to remember what Brandon had. I may have lost that note. Nope, I got it. He had 38. So we all may go over. All right, single file for, I believe, the rest of the race now as we come to lap 8.
Green, green, green.
Atkinson low for that second position. Can he take it away? Not yet, as they are side by side. Waite has the spot. Moon in 4th. Blake Chapman. He and Atkinson each the first one on the bottom, and Chapman didn't see Atkinson coming. He had to go on the lawn, so could avoid hitting the 127 and spin him around. Good catch, though, from the 20. This is nearly 3 wide for 3rd. Rick Main, the man that was quickest in qualifying, trying to make his way through. Currently 5th at the moment if he can get past Atkinson. And that's the case. Moonen has the final step on the podium in 3rd. Greg side by side with Atkinson. Great start for the 27. Started 14th. He's up to 5th. Right now, your biggest mover of the race, but there's another big mover. He's in 9th, started 19th, and that's Dean Reynolds. Berg off the track. He is on pit road for another yellow flag. I'm going to guess he went off the track. I'm not too sure, though. Let's take a look at the replay. Berg testing out the top. Now, he said earlier he didn't want to really go to the top. And this is the reason why. Hits the wall, damages the left front. Dylan, unfortunately, you are victim number 30 tonight. Alrighty, let's try this out. Once again. Solace, Waite, Moonen, Main, Griggs. Your top 5, we come back to green. This time by. Look at the 5-lap average as we're back underway. Look at Griggs up there in 5th. Keep an eye out on him. He currently right now is your quickest car on the racetrack. Main for the podium. Not able to get the spot. Griggs, what a crossover move for the 27. Slide jobs the 187, and Griggs takes away P4. Main tried to counter it back. Here comes Blake Chapman downstairs for that 4th spot. won't be able to get it away. He may have even lost the spot to Maine. We'll have to see, but now Griggs tries to go to work. On Moon for a podium spot, but Moonen wants to wait for second. He is there. Slide job, Moonen on the way. Caution waves, so the pass won't count. John Short upside down. Roger Craig, Barry Goldner all also involved. Wing is gone off the 51. Here's a look. Ooh, Zach Chapman got Cyrus Fair. Oh my goodness! And meanwhile, behind all of that, Roger Craig not even an issue in this accident. Contact and off the track he goes. He's number 31. Watch another angle here. Yeah, Chapman just got sideways in front of Hine, and John Short wing first into the fence with nowhere to go. Gramps is checking in once again, rooting for Isaac out in front. Appreciate Gramps as well for his support of the Open 358s this year with Top Notch Trucking. All right, just under 20 to go as we come back to green. Isaac's led every lap so far tonight. Griggs with a slider on Moonen. Third, not his yet. Moonen with the crossover. Does he slide Griggs? Yes, he does. And the Money King hangs on to third. Trouble Stephen Goldner around in four, and he's gone off the track. So the cautions, breeding cautions. Here's a look at what happened to Stephen. Lost it himself. Rear ends into the wall. Are we sure Miles the Monster is not at Dover? Did he invade Lernerville? Did Dover go into like hibernation, kick him out or something? Ironically, I actually have my Miles the Monster t-shirt on today. So Goldner number 32. You know, with the way this race is going, Brandon, I know you're listening. I got you muted. You know what? I will unmute you real quick. With the way this race is going, we may hit your fall off count of 38.
It's slowly getting there.
We're at 32. So.
Ooh boy.
All right, one lap to the green flag here. We'll see what happens. Once this gets updated, we give you who the biggest mover of the race is. It's currently Dean Reynolds up 11 spots in 8th position, the Jack Hodenshield throwback. Solis leads, Wade second, Moonen third, Griggs fourth, Blake Chapman fifth, back to green. Contact between Waite and Griggs. Waite and Moonen. This allows Griggs to get an opportunity. Same with Blake Chapman. Attention, Kmart shoppers. 2-for-1 discount for Griggs and maybe as well for popcorn. Blake Chapman. Oh no, Griggs goes around. Oh, and he's flipping in front of traffic. Atkinson also involved. What a wild ride that was, and it sounds like Dino was also caught up in it too. Watch Atkinson. As Griggs, oh, he went off the track. Main, Atkinson. And there goes the flipping ride. Now, what happened to Dino? I did not see Dino in that accident one bit. Let's ride on board with the 79. Did we jinx him? Something tells me we did. Yes, we did. There he goes. Ooh, and he nearly came back up into Stephen Goldner. On board with Atkinson. So we had 2 jinxes there. Oh, that's a big impact. I messed up. See, that messed up Atkinson's steering too. Remember, he's got a direct drive wheel. Those things are not fun to use. So Griggs kept 1 wheel on the track, so he does not get added onto the fall-off count. I know that will be a controversial decision, but nope, it's got to be all 4 wheels. So we're at 33 on the count. So Blake Chapman gained 1 spot out of that. He's now into a podium position. And now your biggest mover is Brian Moore Sr., who started 17th. He's up to the 6th spot. Back to the 5-lap average once again as we're back to green. Chapman now is your quickest car on the track. And he's underneath for 2nd on the Money King. And Blake takes it away. Oh boy, Isaac, beware. You got popcorn all over you. Did they make contact? They may have. I don't know if they did. But it would have been tight. Chapman got up on the lawn there. Cost him a spot because of it. Brennan Lacey. Where'd he come from? He's up to 4th. He's been quietly in the top 10 all race long. Now he's trying to make some moves when the time is right. Chapman still trying to hang on to 2nd over Kyle Moon. Again, this is your best battle on the racetrack. Isaac's trying to pull away. 11 to go. Next time by, it'll be 10. Chapman very good on corner entry. Moonen good on corner exit. Remember how good Blake is when it comes to saving tires, especially on the low line. Behind them, Ross Carina, Brad Waite. Brendan Lacey 3 wide for 4th. Ooh, Lacey slight contact with Waite. May have caught Waite off guard just a little bit. That could help out Lacey move up to 5th, and it does. Salas, meanwhile, I think he may have clipped the wall for just a second. Doesn't lose a lot of time there. Chapman lost some time, though, to Kyle Moon, and on board with your race leader. 8 to go at Lernerville. Salas, remember, won the Open 358 race earlier tonight. Looking to go 2 of 3. Moonen looking to start the season off right. It's been, feels like forever since he last won. Trouble, Zach Chapman off the road in turn 2. We stay green with 7 to go. So fall off count now at 34. 6 to go. This is coming down to the wire, folks. As Kyle Moonen saved his tires for when the time is right. We will have to see 5 fingers in the air, 5 laps to go. Who is it going to be in tonight's feature? Moonen is there, trying to force Salas into making a mistake. Ooh, Salas was really good the extra turn 4. Moonen had to left. Couldn't put the power back down. It's a little bit sideways on the exit of the corner. And 3 laps remain. The last time Moonen won in Renegades, February of 2024. Salas trying to hang on and win tonight. Never has he won in the Renegades. Slide job from Moonen. They get together. Salas upside down. And through goes Coretta. Moonen with a slide job on the boss. Coretta to the lead. White flag is out. We're on the final lap. Coretta slides up on Moonen. The Money King. One final shot at turn 3 and 4. Slide job. Moonen takes the win. Photo finish. Moonen wins it at Lernerville. Oh boy. First win in the Renegades since February of 24. You love it for Kyle Moonen, but you hate it for Isaac Salas. Oh, man. Let's look at the replay. Moonen came up. Salas just was not lifting. And he pays the price for the flip down the hill into the boats. On board with Isaac. Oh, he had it up front. But, damn, you just hate the fact that in sprint car racing, that left rear wheel just a little bit bigger. And now we're on the final lap here. Ross thinks he's got it. But the thing is, he left the door open right there for Kyle Moonen. And a photo finish, the Money King hangs on. Stephen Goldner Racing. And car owner Stephen Goldner said they wanted to come out swinging. They got a win to begin the year. 0.07 of a second, the margin of victory between Moonen and Corinna. There's your look at your top 10. Oh yeah, final fall off count this evening is 35. Brandon, you were so close.
I knew we were gonna. I didn't think we were gonna be this good at not falling off, but they surprised me honestly. Especially with it didn't really get dusty there in the Renegades A main, so it turned out pretty nice.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of questions to bring up here out of this one. Let's go to third place finisher Blake Chapman. Blake, talk me through what you saw from your perspective. You almost had a chance to steal something.
Yeah, I was hoping for a little something. I could see Moonen was gaining on Isaac, but this car just kind of went away on me towards the end. I was feeling really, really good with about 15 to go. The bottom was coming in. I think my fastest lap was on lap 15, and it felt like this car kept getting faster. And then about 10, 15 to go, it really just went away on me, and I wasn't able to hit the entry like I needed to. But we stuck it down there and we were able to get a decent run off the corners still. But I'm not sure what happened with Isaac and Moonen there, but it benefited me a little bit there towards the end, and wish we would have been a little bit faster, might have been able to steal a win. But we're happy coming home with the third.
Was it saving tires as well at the same time?
It was saving tires. I didn't really plan on it. I didn't run a gear towards the bottom, a gear that I would usually run if I just wanted to run the bottom. But I wasn't sure with this new dust model how much I'd have to move around. So we moved around just a little bit, but mostly around the bottom for the most part. That's because it was really working for us. It was really pretty quick and just kind of went away on us there towards the end. Wish we would have maybe made a move towards the top there towards the end, but now we know for next time.
Shout outs and popcorn. Of course, it's the holiday season.
Yes, of course, Marty. First, I got to thank the parents for watching. Got to thank all the guys down at KSR. It's great to have Shorty back tonight. And of course, I got to thank Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps, Andy at AJ Custom Creations, and Flatline Racing Bodies for sponsoring this division. And of course, I got to thank Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. You said it, Marty. It is the holiday season, and there's nothing better to have at the Christmas table than some great Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. You can head over to their website and don't forget to use code CART, that's CART at checkout, checkout for 15% off some of their very delicious popcorn. And I got to thank you guys for putting this on.
Well, great run for you tonight, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week, sir. Well done.
I hope so. Thanks, Marty.
Blake Chapman, your third place finisher. Now we go to the man that finished in second. Brandon, I don't know if you watched it, but Ross Carina came so close to the heist of the night.
Yeah, that would have been sweet to take it there, but spun the tires a little bit coming out of 2 and kind of lost my drive to block the slider there. So good run by Moon in there. It's a fun race.
Were you thinking about going to the bottom to try and protect him, trying to protect the slider line?
Yeah, I was, but like I said, coming out of 2 there in the last lap, I spun the tires a little bit, so I wasn't able to get a good enough drive, and I figured it was coming, and I didn't want to cut him off and take both of us out, so I left him a little room and thought maybe I could cut underneath him, and luckily, we didn't hit each other, but it would have been nice to get the win.
Well, I'll give you another positive here too. Hard charger of the night. There were 3 drivers that were up 11 spots. You were one of them, and because you were the highest one, I mean, I know it's not bonus points. You're the one that's credited for it.
Yeah, well, yeah, take everything you can get, I guess. And obviously, if I wouldn't have fallen off earlier, who knows what happened, but it's a good run.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Yeah, Phantom Motorsports guys, Velocity Racing Design. You guys up in the booth putting on the show, and everybody at Coast to Coast keeping this league going.
Alrighty, man. Well, great job tonight. Great run. Best of luck next week in the Chili Bowl. Ross Carina, the winner. Now we go to Victory Lane to talk with your winner. His first win in the Renegades since February. Kyle Moonen gets it done. But Kyle, we got to go back to what everyone's talking about. The slide job. Walk me through your perspective.
Yeah, I feel bad about that with Isaac. You know, he led the whole race. I don't want to win him that way, but you know, for probably the 5 laps before that, I was kind of following him, you know, waiting, just you know, hoping he would make a mistake. Then once I realized he wasn't going to, I knew I was going to have to slide him in 1 and 2. And as I was coming up, I knew I wasn't going to be clear, and I tried to get out of it and, you know, still leave him enough room, but wasn't quite enough because his left rear caught my right rear and sent him for a, you know, flip after that. But like I said, it wasn't intentional. I feel bad. You know, he had a good race, and I don't know if I was gonna shake him up enough right there or not, but definitely not the way you want to do it.
Let's get, though, to the pass for the win on Ross Carina. Were you surprised that he left the bottom home for a slide job? I don't know if you just heard his interview, but he said he spun the tires, which kind of messed up his entry going into turn number 3, which is why the bottom was left open.
Yeah, I was gonna try going down there and doing something. You know, I wasn't sure what he was gonna do. I didn't know he spun his, you know, tires or what, but yeah, I wasn't sure if it was gonna stick or if he was gonna cross me, you know, back over and get it back, but somehow managed to hold on. So.
Well, I know next week we got the Chili Bowl charity race, but 2 weeks from now, I-55. I know that's a track that the Stephen Goldner Racing team very good at. That's one they're gonna want to. They're got circuit on their calendar.
Yep. We'll catch both of them and try to race a little bit more this season.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Just all the guys at Stephen Goldner Racing and you guys for the broadcast and everyone that helps put on the league.
Alrighty, man. Well, hey, congratulations on the win. Not bad of a way to kick off the season. Nice job tonight.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks.
Kyle Moonen taking the win, his first win in Renegades since February. So that'll pretty much do it here for us. Brandon, final thoughts on a great night of racing.
Yeah, you know, it was all great racing all the way around throughout the entire field. Three races, 3 completely different tracks. offering all sorts of special abilities and running styles.
Absolutely. So with that being said, that will do it for us. Thank you for joining us here on this Monday night. We'll be back next week for the Chili Bowl and 2 weeks from now for our second points race of the year, which is at I-55. On behalf of the Coast to Coast Racing League, all the fine drivers and sponsors, Roger Craig and his great group of admins. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Brandon Dittmer, Marty Scala saying so long. Your winners tonight, Isaac Salas, Open 358, Rebels Dylan Berg, and Renegade, that was Joseph Grandy, and Renegades Kyle Moonen. So long.